Welcome to the Nexus of Adventure, where stories transcend the page, a place where heroes and villains clash. This is Break, Battle, and Roll. Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of Break, Battle, and Roll. I am your DM, Aaron Rollins, and I'm here with our three illustrious adventurers, starting with Chad Stafford. Who are you playing tonight?
Hello there, I am Timothy Biscuit.
Janelle Wilke, what are you, who are you tonight?
Oh yeah, hi, I'm Janelle, but better known as Flowerkraut, the Beach Baba Yaga. I think, if I remember right, I'm currently in disguise, but I do still talk like this to my friends while I'm disguised as a beautiful lady. But normally I am much more haggard and beastly.
Dustin Blechschmidt, who are you this evening?
I am going to be playing Sherman Gepherd. I am 4, going on 28.
Indeed. Now let's do a little bit of a recap from the last time we got together. When last we left our adventurers, a mysterious nobleman named Yalister had hired them as an escort to the inauguration of Baron Burgwahl in Ryle. After an entertaining escapade involving a dog trying to persuade 2 horses to pull a carriage,
Hurt me, dog.
Best.
the party stopped for some Dutch and frothy white foam.
Oh, truly a treasure.
I still smell it.
You love it.
It wasn't the whipped cream, but it was still pretty good.
They arrived at the barony and accompanied Yalister to the reception, whereby the 4 of them were introduced to the assembly by Burgwahl's knight, Sir Gegelruck. Yalister led the conversation with notable guests attending the event, namely the Nettleposh twins, Baroness Moaz, and Heel Amunsur of the Repellious Conclave. Sebastian Burgwahl, the Baron's son, greeted everyone with an impressive flair and welcomed the representatives to dinner. The room was enveloped in darkness shortly after Sebastian delivered the toast, and upon vision returning, his lifeless body lay slumped over the Baron's lap. And that is where we left off.
Aaron, I have to go back to when you called us heroes, by the way. Even though we have not done anything yet, all we've deduced so far is that we're poor. And
We're poor and we'll take a job from anyone.
we will take literally any job.
Wait, you're offering to pay us money for services?
One can hope we're heroes.
We get to ride in a carriage and drink coffee?
Mr. Biscuit, I wish I was a hero. Like you.
Oh, don't you put me in that category. I can't live up to those sort of expectations.
You saved my life that one time, you know. You remember.
Do I?
I had... Yes, you did.
I do?
Yes.
I did? When was this?
Why, it was moments ago. When you... maybe you had no idea, but I could have sworn you knew. I had an elderly blast lodged deep in, and you patted me on the back.
Listen. We promised to never talk about this again. That was part of the deal, Flowerkraut. And it's fine, you know, if you want to call me a hero for doing that kind of an act, I'd rather just call it nothing and pretend that that's what it is.
Did he suck a fart out of her? What just happened?
Do you ever have trapped gas and you just need a little extra pat to get it loose? I mean, I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to bring it up. But here we are, just laying bare our emotional state of being.
My son! What vile treachery!
You see him, stare around the room with just this absolute death glare at everyone. And you see the representatives stand up, and they're just looking at each other in confusion. And you see, Candace and Colin are like, they're just holding their hands to their mouth. And Baroness Moaz is just like, got this look of just disdain for everyone else in the room. You actually hear her like,
oh, what is this? What is this?
And then you hear Candace and Colin, This is a move most vile by your enemies, your liege. As you can see, the Nettlepaws are ever loyal, and there is no evidence that we had anything to do with this. The Baron is without words, and you see him just trying to gather his rage into one place. Yalister is sitting there. What? Baron? Who? And he stands up, and he's looking around the room, and he looks at, like, Moaz, and they both just share this nasty glare with each other. And then he looks over at Heel, and Heel doesn't seem to have any other expression than just lizard face.
Stoic lizard face.
Resting lizard face.
Yes. Some stone cold lizard face.
Yeah, Yalister, what do you want us to do?
He turns around and looks at you, and he gives you this look of, I don't know who you are. And he turns around, and you see Sir Gegelruck runs over to the Baron's side, and he goes, This is terrible. I think we need to recognize that we're all hated, your barony, and we should gather our wits.
Yes, that is an excellent thing.
Good luck, I want you to line up everyone. And everyone needs to drop their weapons on the floor immediately.
And so Gegelruck runs over, and you just see them like he's having the representatives stand against the walls with their entourages, and like Moaz steps back and she looks to her guards. The guards pull their rapiers out and they drop them on the floor. Colin and Candace's guards pull all their daggers out of their little bandoliers and they drop them on the floor. The battle axes from the lizard men get dropped, and Gegelruck walks over to your group, and Yalister kind of looks at you guys. Drop them.
I drop my weapon.
I drop my daggers and rapier.
Candace and Colin standing there along the wall across from you guys, you hear them go, We will comply with your will, Baron. Baron just eyeballs them for a second.
What a bunch of suck-ups.
Ask history abound with those two.
So Sherman speaks up. He's like, he says, Baron Burgwahl, I am a pal. And I feel like I was meant to be here today to help you bring justice to whatever foul monster of a person did this to your poor son. Please allow me to assist you.
No one in this room is not suspect.
He begins to waddle around the room, and they open the doors just briefly for this little bullywug female that's wearing this white cap with a red cross on it, and she comes running in with a little kit, and she runs over to Sebastian's body, and she opens it up, and you see that she's examining the cause of death. And Baron just is walking by, and he's again just in absolute, he's got tears streaming down his face, but he's also like about to explode from rage, and he looks at Moaz for a little while, and Moaz just gives him this,
You know I did not do this.
He then walks over to Colin and Candace, and they go, Your Baron, we are always here to support you, and we will help you find who did this. I think it was that cursed Baroness Moaz. And Moaz turns and just gives them the sneer, and she goes,
Perhaps you should get your head out of the Baron's ass, halfling.
And then they just start bickering at each other until the Baron blows up.
Quiet!
And he starts picking up the weapons. And he starts looking at them, and he walks around the room. And the bullywug that was investigating Sebastian's body goes,
Your Honor. Yes. There's a puncture wound here. There's a slash across his neck. He's been scorched by fire. It would seem that perhaps there was an act of treachery to take my life, but my son protected me.
He goes over there and he investigates with this medic, Bullywug, and he then turns and he points at Moaz's group, at the rapiers on the ground. But then he points at Timothy's rapier as well.
Uh-oh.
Suspect.
He then goes around the room and he sees Sherman's longsword. He points at the sword on the ground. But then he also points, surprising to anyone in the room, at Sir Gegelgruck's sword.
Suspect.
Your Honor, let's not be too hasty, okay? This is a lot to take in. I think we need to ascertain motives here.
Good work. You will silence yourself.
And he tells everyone that you will either stay in this room or you'll be escorted to a different room. And he gathers up those that he wants removed. It's all of Moaz's group, not including the Baroness herself. He keeps the Baroness in the dining hall, but he has her entourage, and he has the three of you, along with Sir Gegelgruck, bunched into a group. He then has about 10 Bullywug guards come walking up, and they collect all of the weapons that you guys had dropped on the ground. And Yalister is standing there, and he turns and goes, Baron, should I be going with my entourage? And the Baron shakes his head, and he goes, This is an outrage, Baron. This is an act of war in your own home.
Now, let's not be hasty and use the W word around here.
I say you take the blood that is rightfully yours, but you need to think clearly in this one, Baron. And the Baron turns and he gives the order, and you guys are escorted along with Moaz's people and Gegelgruck out of the room. And they shut the doors. And it looks like the Baron's going to have a conversation with the representatives, but he wants to isolate who he suspects in this situation. And so you guys are walked out through the reception hall, and you're then headed down a spiral staircase. And it looks like the rock that this barony sits upon is actually kind of hollowed out, because you're going down into, like a stone cavern. And you arrive at what you can only assume to be a dungeon. And there's this reception room with all of these chains and pulleys, and a barred door. And a couple of the Bullywug guards run up, and you see that they take the possessions that they had taken from you guys. They take your weapons and they put them in these little lockers. And then they pull these two Bullywugs on either side of the room, pull on these chains, and it opens up this gate in front of you. You are then escorted through the gates along with Moaz, along with Gegelgruck. Gegelgruck's sword is taken, and he's Gegelgruck, he's complaining the entire time. He's just like, hey, you know what? I'm the knight in charge of you guys. How can you guys be doing? You think I had anything to do with this? And they're just not even responding to him. And you guys are pulled into the dungeon. The chains are pulled again by the two guards, which means that the door behind you shuts, and now you're in this long hallway that goes around a couple corners. And you hear chains being pulled from that reception room that is now locked and blocked away from you, where all your things are. And these different cells are opened up. And you guys are walked down into a cell and put in there, and then the Bullywugs give they go, wah, wah, and the door is shut from the reception room. So it looks like these doors are controlled from a central room. They're not like closed and locked right there. And you see that Moaz's guards are also put into their own little cell, and Gegelruck is put into his. You guys are also in the same cell together. You're not put into separate cells.
Aww. Friendship cell.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's that. I mean, this has definitely become a rather unpleasant evening, but it's good to still be with you guys.
From the lap of luxury to the bowels of a dungeon. Fabulous.
I have no qualms that we're gonna go ahead and get through this just fine. This must be this fiefdom's due process.
Now, Sherman, did you get any sense from anyone in the room after the lights came back? Did you sense negative intention?
I mean, it seemed like there was a lot of negative energy around the whole room, but I mean, I guess I can try to remember if anything really stood out to me.
Go ahead and roll a perception with advantage, since you were basically trying to sniff out the room.
I did hear him growling during that whole thing.
Oh, I was, I sometimes when bad things happen, I get a little, I get a little defensive.
You had your, what is it called, your heckles up?
No, that's what people do when Timothy tries stand-up comedy.
Heckling?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
What's the word I'm thinking of? Hackles?
Yeah, maybe that's it. Hackles.
So, yeah.
Son of a bitch.
I rolled 19 on perception.
So the primary smell you got in the room was absolute fear, and it seemed to be coming from everybody. But you're right, there was so much commotion in the room, and you were kind of fixed in place. You couldn't move where you were, so you couldn't identify individual smells coming from people. So you didn't smell anything besides absolute just chaos and fear as a whole in the room.
Do I smell any ill will coming from Sir Gegelruck now?
No, you don't.
Okay. He seems like a stand-up guy.
He's over there just like pacing around in his cell, and he's frustrated because he does seem like to you guys like a stand-up guy that is just trying to serve as Baron, but because he happens to be using a longsword, he was pinned as a suspect to this. He keeps calling down the hallway for the Bullywug guards to come over here and maybe go fetch the Baron and so he can explain himself, but they've been given orders not to answer any requests from those that have been brought down to the dungeon, including Gegelruck.
Sherman turns to, I guess, Flowerkraut and asks if she felt like Yalistar gave us a disparaging look when we asked him what we should do.
I did notice that he seemed taken aback by us, like, momentarily. I was very confused by that.
It seemed rather cold, and even if I were to be honest, when I said that I thought this was going to be, well, it's kind of funny now, but when I said this would have been the best night of my life, he looked sad. Something's concerning me about Yalistar.
I think he looked sad because he's used to nights like this and they suck in his opinion, and so if this is the best night of your life, then he's sad for you.
Oh, well, now I'm even more sad.
He thinks we have the shittiest life.
Do you think they're still gonna get toast in the other room? Do you think they're getting toast still?
I give him that look that Yalistar gave him, the sad look.
Oh, this night has become grave indeed. And Timothy just kind of looks down at the ground and just starts rocking himself back and forth.
All right, well, I mean, things go quiet, and I mean, you can hear Moaz's. They're actually around a corner in the dungeon from you guys, but you can hear them kind of like talking amongst each other. about how there's no way that the Baroness will let them get away with this, and they seem very uptight about the whole situation. And you also hear them talk about how this, if anything happens to the Baroness Moaz, that it will mean this would essentially be a declaration of war against Frozen Sauce. And so they
Frozen Sauce.
Yeah, it's Frozen Sauce.
Yes. Oh, that's the region just due west of Sassafras.
Actually, yes. You're absolutely right, Sherman. So they don't seem as concerned about this. Gegelruck seems to be in quite a state of, I don't know, despair. He thinks that maybe this is going to affect his position with the Baron, and he's like just a couple cells down from where you guys are, and you see him walk up to the door of his cell, and he goes,
Hey, you're the folks here with Earl Yallister, right?
Yes, hello, sir. It's unfortunate to remake your acquaintance under such circumstances.
I could not agree more. I just want to let you know.
There's no toast. There's no toast anywhere.
Is Timothy just in a corner rocking back and forth?
Is he okay?
Timothy.
I mean, I know this is a stressful situation, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I don't think that you had anything to do with this either. I think you guys look like good people.
and he kind of puts his head down to the ground and stands there, sad.
That's very sweet. For what it's worth, I think you're very well dressed, and you look like a real stand-up grung.
Thank you. I don't think I remember your name. I just know you're here with Yallister.
I'm so sorry. I'm terribly sorry. I do this all the time. My name is Sherman, and this is Flowerkraut and Timothy.
Pleasure.
And I guess for the moment we're cellmates.
Yeah. Hey, Timothy. It's gonna be okay. All right. We'll get you out of this, and we'll find some toast.
I was going to tell you not to worry because he's only concerned about toast right now, but yes.
I'm sorry. I don't like enclosed spaces. They kind of freak me out, and I fixate on one thing. But tonight, there's a lot to fixate on. This is such a terrible tragedy that has befallen this kingdom. What is to happen?
Well, Timothy, if we're vigilant and true, the true culprit will get their just desserts. And then we can have real desserts because we'll have earned them.
So, Gegelruck, while I do appreciate your vote of confidence in us, I am very curious to know, who do you think would have done this?
There's a lot of enemies here. We did a very bad job keeping Sebastian safe, but anyone outside of Ryle who doesn't like the idea of the Baron, well, I don't know. I wouldn't want to say that I would pinpoint one exact person or kingdom to do this, but I guess I wouldn't be surprised if it was Moaz.
They were quite rude.
Now, just because someone's rude doesn't mean they're inherently evil. I really hate to ask the question, but we do have to be thorough and consider all possibilities. Is there any reason that Rorak would have considered Sebastian a threat to his new title?
You think the Baron killed his own son?
Look, I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just trying to be thorough. Because really, at this point, anything is possible.
There's also another point to consider. Whatever magic was cast upon the room completely blinded all of us. Now that's some powerful stuff.
That's a good clue, Timothy.
Yes, Sir Gigglerook, is there anyone in the party that we were in today that may dabble in that type of wizardry or sorcery?
I know that Sebastian himself, well, he had some magical capabilities, but I don't know why he would do that. And, well, that doesn't make any sense. But I also know that Candace and Colin Nettleposh, they're very much magic users. And maybe Baroness Moaz, I really don't know much about her. I just know that she's very rude.
Yeah, she leaves a lot to be desired in common pleasant interactions. That's definitely true. But I'm sure she's trying her best.
Those Nettlepots were very quick to point the blame away from themselves.
Yes, they were very quick to get to the ass kissery and the projecting.
You guys are conversing with Giggleruck when you overhear some like whispers going on around the corner, and it's not coming from where Moaz's guards are being held. It's actually coming from, I mean, it's so far around the corner that you can't really hear it very well, but it's coming from that reception room where all of the, all of the cells are being controlled from. And you then hear a couple of the guards shuffling around and moving, so it sounds like maybe there's either someone arriving or there's a change of guards or something. You just know that there's something going on over there. And Giggleruck kind of like puts his finger to his mouth, like let's listen to what's going on.
Oh yeah, I point one of my ears in that direction.
Can we roll a perception check, perhaps, to listen in?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
I will specifically roll a perception smell to see if I recognize any of the scents from our prior meeting.
I've got 18.
Ooh, I got a 16.
Ooh.
And that is going to be 17 to smell.
Oh my goodness.
18, 17, 16. So it sounds like more Bullywug guards coming down. You don't hear any voices that you recognized from the reception or from the dining hall, but you do hear the guards that were in there leave, and it sounds like just one guard walks in, 2 guards leave, and then you hear scraping on the floor. You hear the sound of metal, and you hear just like a little clatter on the floor, and then your cell opens up. Just yours.
Oh.
I'm sorry, what? Did any of you do that?
I don't think that would have been possible, even if I wanted to.
Definitely not me. Not in my wheelhouse.
That's weird. We don't open up cells without a guard detail standing outside the cell.
And he Giggleruck's like looking out there, and
maybe you should go see what this is all about.
I feel like this is a quick way for us to get blamed for something.
Well, they don't have any evidence pointing towards us, so let's give things a look. We can at least ask the guard what's going on.
I will poke my head around the cell door and just if I see the perceived guard standing there, I'm just gonna be like, hey, just making sure you want us to come out of the cell.
you don't see any guards standing down there.
Guys, let's try. I mean, I really don't like interfering in other people's governments unless I have to, but I definitely want to try to see if we can get Sir Gigglerook out of his cell, because he's definitely being held against his will, and I don't like that.
Gigglerock, would you care to join us in our investigation?
Well, I guess we need to figure out why they just opened your cell and not mine or the Moaz folks.
Sir Gigglerook, I need you to understand that what I'm about to do might not seem exactly legal, but I assure you it is right.
Okay.
And I go to fiddle with the locking mechanisms and try to understand how the gates work on the cells.
So you go around the corner to where like the reception, the dungeon reception room is, and you see that your equipment, that the weapons that you guys had surrendered have been pushed through the cell door. You are blocked from getting into that room where all of the chains and, basically where everything is controlled from, but your stuff has been pushed through and is sitting on the floor in front of you.
Oh, he's gonna scrape the handle doing that. That's...
Someone is baiting us.
Why would they bring out our weapons? You're right, Flowerkraut. Someone is... I feel like we're being set up to take the fall.
Yes,
We're the only ones here that don't have any sort of history. It's very easy to blame this all on us.
Yes, we're outsiders. Someone is laying a trap.
Sherman gets a little upset and says aloud, if Yalister set us up, I will find him and make him drink the rest of the frothy liquid that is so good somehow, but I know he won't like it.
A fate worse than death, I assure you.
Hey, is everything okay over there?
Well, I'm gonna shout. No. For whatever reason, they've relinquished our weapons and have left them about for us to take, and it seems rather odd.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, can you guys come over here? Can you guys come over here for a second?
Like,
Flowerkraut goes over to him.
yeah, hey, buddy.
Hey, you know what? Let's not advertise to Moaz's people what's going on over here. I don't know if we can trust them.
You can hear that there's like some chit chatter going on from the cell that the Tabaxi are in.
Okay, I don't know what this means. Because it's not.
You kind of run things around here, right? So you would know that this operation is rather odd.
Yeah, and honestly, it's kind of embarrassing. It's not like you have. It's not like you can just walk out of here because you have to go through that room. And you said they just pushed your weapons through, right?
Yes.
Yes, they did. They pushed our weapons through. Do you think the guards could be in on this?
Did anyone see if the Moaz had her weapons brought into the cell with her?
Moaz was not carrying a weapon.
Okay.
But do you mean like the guards that were with her?
Like, is this a setup for us to fight each other to the death?
Their rapiers were collected and put into those lockers, and they're standing in their cell with no weapons.
Oh, okay, so...
Okay, listen up. I don't think this is really something that needs to be shared with people who aren't from Ryle or don't have any kind of relationship with the Baron.
That's us.
Considering the circumstances, well, Sebastian had his own secrets. And being the captain of the guard here, I kind of stumbled across some of his things, and he just swore me to secrecy. I don't know what this means. I don't know why they'd give you your weapons back and still keep you down here, just outside your cell, but I can tell you that there is another way out of this dungeon.
Can I roll insight on this just to see if there is any, some shady dealings going on here, if he's being truthful in that he doesn't believe we're at fault, or if he knows something more that he's not letting on?
Sure.
So 17 plus 3, so that's a 20, a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Wow.
So Gegelruck does sound genuine he sounds confused, and he also sounds hesitant to tell you what he's telling you.
Gegelruck, I know this information is difficult to share, and I know we're all a little confused here. Us, probably mostly, we're outsiders in this scenario, but do you think that us leaving the cells with our weapons in hands wouldn't just allude to us being at fault for whatever it is that has happened?
You have a good point, Timothy. But I think the Baron, and knowing the Baron, is going to make some rash decisions. And I don't think you had anything to do with this. And if it at least means that the three of you can get out of here, then I'd say take the opportunity. But there may be more to this that I'm not even aware of. You see, if you go down this hall and you get to the end, there's a stone wall. If you push one of the rocks, a door will open and it will lead into Sebastian's study. He came down here a lot and I didn't know why until I stumbled upon it myself. And then he told me that it was our little secret. Sebastian's not around anymore, so I can't say I'm doing him a dishonor.
All right, well, I say we go ahead and go into the study and see what we can learn.
Do we have to pass by the Moaz cell to get our stuff or go down the hallway?
No, you guys can walk over to they're after you go out of that reception room, it's a T intersection. They took Moaz people to the left, they took you guys to the right, and then around a corner. So you can go back, get your stuff, and then come back to where Gegelruck was pointing.
All right, let's grab our stuff and let's figure out what's going on here. And Yellowstar may need our help.
Aaron, did I get my loot back?
Yes.
Yeah, it was in a loot crate.
Haha.
Not a sponsor.
You know, I had to pay a subscription service to get this.
His loot crate.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to the Loot Crate.
The loot.
Yeah.
Ah.
You know, they send me extra strings, sometimes a fancy new pick.
Some sheet music, maybe?
Yeah, it's a lovely service.
The loot.
I have a sponsor code if you would like to, follow my affiliate link.
Maybe your music will help us get out of this yet, Timothy.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a nice little ditty to get this show on the road.
Down. Secret study.
Man.
Secret study.
I love the little secret tunnel callback. Secret tunnel.
You know what? I'm pretty sure there's no way in hell that you guys are the ones who killed Sebastian.
What makes you say that?
Oh, nothing. You're just so honest and good-hearted.
Flowerkraut kind of stumbles and shakes her head for a moment. Holy fuck! Oh my god, I must be sundowning. You guys, were we headed to like a room down the hall or something? For some reason, I feel like I've lost years of time.
Is everything okay, Flower? Is that your name?
Yes, Flower is fine. Yes.
Your voice sounds a little different.
I think I'm still disguised as Flower, but I've definitely dropped the voice because
Right.
I'm just like over it. Like, oh fuck, what's happening?
Oh my tonsils! God.
God, there's
Oh, you had too many Smirnoff Ices up there.
too much foam. More like, was that like eggplant foam or something?
It was something like an eggplant.
Something like an eggplant. Goody.
So Gegelruck looks down the hall and he says,
Maybe there's more to this than we know. Maybe Sebastian had more secrets than what he shared with me.
Let's unearth some secrets then. All right, so we have all our stuff. So
Whether it's incriminating or not, yes, we have our things.
we have our things. And okay, and we're headed to the door at the end of the hallway. Is that where we're headed? To the secret study?
Is there like a secret stone in the secret wall that leads us to the secret tunnel that leads us to the secret study?
almost precisely. You walk down to the end of the hallway, and there's just nothing but a stone wall there, though after closer inspection, you see that one of the bricks would normally be overlooked, but it definitely is not mortared into the wall the same as the rest.
Look at you, such a lonely stone. You think no one will ever pay attention to you. No one will give you the chance you deserve. But we will. We notice you, little stone. You're a pebble above the rest.
Timothy has chosen you.
I need a moment.
Oh my god. Flowerkraut presses the stone.
Okay. So you press the stone. It definitely depresses into the wall.
It's not the only thing that's depressed.
And Timothy depresses into the floor.
Timothy, there'll be time for rock music later. Let's go.
You notice that the wall becomes loose, like it can slide to the left and to the right a little bit while the stone is pressed in.
You gotta put your full body weight into it and kind of go around.
You press the stone and then you can slide the door almost like a barn door. And the whole wall just slides and you can see that it like goes into a secret compartment in the side of the...
Secret tunnel. Say it. It's a secret tunnel.
Sing it. It's a secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Hey guys, could you keep it down over there?
Come on, Gegelrug. Sing it. Sing it, secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
I love that guy. Let's go.
Do we like close this behind us when we go? Like,
So the door appears to be on some kind of spring system as well, because whenever you let go of it, it by default begins to slide closed.
oh.
All right,
Well, that answers that question.
let's go all in.
Well, I will go ahead and take heed, or charge. Yeah, I'll take heed of going to be in charge of being in front. Then I walk forward.
All right, so beyond the secret wall in the dungeon is a very small room fitted with a desk and containing scattered notes. The room is essentially the same size as one of the jail cells, and it becomes apparent that this wall system was kind of built around a previous cell to kind of conceal it. After you guys move in, the room is completely dark. There's no lights in here, but while there was light shining in from the torches of the dungeon, you did see that on the desk there's a couple candles. They're not lit, though.
Oh god. Does any of us have fire?
Oh, I'll hold on a second. I go ahead and I'll just pull my torch and a tinderbox out of my backpack here, and I can just light us a quick, well, maybe I can just light these candles and leave the torch out of it. So I'll pull my tinderbox out and light these candles.
So, yeah, you guys see this desk. That's all that's in this room. You do see like a poster hanging on the wall. Almost looks like some kind of motivational poster because it's got like a bullywug on there with its fist raised to the sky. And underneath it, it reads, "Plans unseen cannot be foiled."
I'm getting the vibe this was a tortured artist.
Hey, Sherman, they have the same poster you have in your bedroom.
Flower, I thought I told you not to tell anyone about that.
Oh, damnation, the secrets keep spilling out of me.
That's what happens in the secret tunnel.
All right, well, yes, I have, well, I mean, it's different. There's definitely, it's not a bullywug on mine. Maybe there's a whole line of them, I don't know.
It must be species specific.
Wait. So what's on Sherman's poster?
A dog folk.
Oh, okay.
And it says, when things get rough, our boys get tough.
And it's RUFF TUFF.
Yes. I can confirm it absolutely is RUFF.
All right, so you guys look around this small room and see that, again, notes are scattered all over the place. You actually see that they're kind of like Post-it notes laying around, as well as a little note that's laying over the top of a silver key.
I read keynote.
Haha.
Does that make you a keynote speaker?
Yeah. Well, it will once I tell you what's on that keynote.
The note just says TED.
Oh.
No, I'm just
TED.
kidding.
It's a TED Talk, guys.
Exactly.
Man, I really like it when Ted talks. He can just
Me
go
too.
on for hours.
Usually it's about 20 minutes, though.
So you pick up the note, you see the silver key laying underneath it, and the note says, "Note to self, Find a new hiding spot for the spare key. Gegelruck happened upon it too easily, and it was luck he was easily distracted so I could lift it off of him. Don't put this off, Sebastian.
This is a very, very descriptive note.
What a weird note to leave yourself.
Why not just do the thing?
See, that's what I was thinking. This guy's a real procrastinator.
He took the time to write the note, but not hide the key.
This is probably why he used his writing room as part of a dungeon. He had to purposefully lock himself in some sort of confined space just to get some work done.
You notice that a lot of the writing in the notes laying around this desk are incredibly granular and detailed, almost obsessive.
Can I do an investigation check to see if I find anything that might be of interest among them?
Sure. Go ahead and roll investigation.
Rolling.
Detective mode, Batman.
Detect. Yes. Okay, so I got a nat 17, and then let me see. Investigation. I get a +1. 18.
18. Holy
Any more
moly,
juicy
macaroni.
secrets to add to the Chamber of Flowerkraut?
Yes, you absolutely do. You find a note that is titled The Nettle Pashas. And you read below.
Drama.
Hot goss.
It says, always agreeable, but seemingly biding their time to strike when the opportunity best presents them with the advantage. Keeping them close might be dangerous, especially if we let them in on too much of our plans. We shall deal with them last.
Deal with them. Oh, crap. But yes, that's some hot goss on the nettle pot, huh?
That's some hot goss, but what I'm more concerned with is the little bit at the end that says they must not know too much of our plan. What exactly do they refer to via plan?
Yes.
Yes, perhaps there's maybe something else here that'll help us figure that out. I'm gonna remove the poster on the wall.
Okay.
Is there anything behind the poster?
The backside of the poster is a drawing of a nude female bullywug.
I quickly put it back where it was, and I was like,
Sherman,
oh my,
what was that? What did you just find?
Nothing.
Sherman,
Everything's fine.
Sherman,
No,
you were
no.
blushing. I didn't know that was
can't-
possible
you
for a
can't
dog
even-
folk,
no,
but I can
there's
see
no way
it.
you can tell that.
I can tell that.
My ears are flat.
You are sweating profusely.
That's impossible, by the
Your
way.
tongue is sticking straight out.
You're panting quite heavily.
Nothing important back there. Nope.
So, Flowerkraut, you begin to shuffle through some more of the notes, and not far from the last one you found, there's one titled The Moaz of Frozensaws.
I love that name. The Frozensaws.
You pick it up.
All
and
right,
it
what does
says,
this one say?
Never one to keep their opinion to themselves. They openly hate us and find our kind a stain on this land.
Oh, so it's not just me.
Perhaps we should put them in their place and make them our target after we've fortified the barony.
And Sherman, I believe it is the Moazes that find the bullywugs to be the stain, and not the other way around, unfortunately for you.
Oh, yes, of course. They were quite rude. That lady was quite rude.
The bullywugs are looking less and less innocent of nefarious dealings as we find more of these notes.
Agreed.
The next note you find is titled The Lizard Folk of the Repilius Conclave. And it reads, their proximity to our barony is a threat. We take one wrong step in our preservation of the marshes, and they will rise up against us. It only seems fitting that we bring them under our wing and utilize them as our defense here in Ryle.
I am just pocketing all this tabloidium over here, like, yum. Flowerkraut is all about these clues.
You continue to shuffle around, and while you're doing that, Timothy and Sherman, you guys are standing behind, looking around the room, and you look down to your feet, and you see that the ground, the I guess the blocks of stone that are below you look to be nice and square, and the seam around the edges of them is not mortared the rest of the way. You stomp your feet a little bit, and you can certainly hear a difference in the sound of the ground below you compared to the rest of the dungeon.
I would like to do an investigation on this floor.
Okay. Well, I mean, Timothy is pretty close to the floor already.
I'm still depressed.
In his wallowing.
Did you inchworm into the room?
Can I roll with advantage because I am just so close to the floor?
Yeah, because you're already rolling your face along the floor. No, just give me an investigation check.
You know, I'm just thinking of other things. That was a 3. Guys, I can't go on anymore.
He's thinking about the rock again.
No one noticed that rock until we came along. No one cared.
Timothy, I'm pretty sure since this room has been heavily used, the rock has been noticed many a time.
That's just it, Flowerkraut. It's been used. It's only been used. No one ever cared about what it thought and what it felt and what its needs were. Just, oh hey, I'm just a thing that keeps your secrets at bay, but no one cares about what I need to say.
Oh my god, Timothy, I am detecting some underlying maybe feelings you're projecting onto the rock. Are you okay? Do you need to share?
No, this has nothing to do with me. This is everything to do with the rock. What are you saying?
Okay, because the part about secrets seemed like oddly specific.
You know, everyone else is sharing their secrets, and it's fine.
Timothy, you swear you hear like the faintest whisper in the wind. I appreciate you, Timothy.
Did you just... Hold on. I suddenly feel very inspired.
You took notice when no one else would.
I did notice you. I did. We're one and the same.
Is Flowerkraut just thinking this is the murmurings of a madman? Like, oh, fuck.
Flower, you find another note, and this one is titled Sir Gegelruck.
Ooh. What's he got on you, Giggles?
Eager to please the previous Baron and now my father, I am cautious to trust Sir Gegelruck too quickly. He will comply with our plans once we've initially set our troops into battle. However, I think we'll need him the most in our final battle.
Okay, so essentially what these notes are saying are there were plans in motion, and they all got interrupted, it seems.
Or maybe this was all part of the plan. Maybe he's not even dead. Maybe he just looked dead. Who knows? I think I'm really hungry.
Yeah, me too, but I've just been talking to the rock from the other side of the wall, and him and I agree that maybe this whole charade was constructed simply to get everyone else to point the finger, simply to get everybody else angry enough at each other to, I don't know, maybe attack. According to these notes, it seems like most of these clans, they simply wanted out of the way or dealt with in some fashion. What better way to do that than to just get everyone to turn on each other?
Oh.
True.
Or to have them all executed.
The rock told him all this.
You're such a smart voice in my head.
You're doing so well, Timothy.
I can tell this symbiotic relationship is going to do good for us both.
Well, maybe this rock's gonna tell us something, and I lean down to investigate the smooth rock that has no mortar on the floor.
All right, roll an investigation check.
All right, that's 15.
You run your hand along the stone floor, and you find a keyhole.
All right, Flower, are you done rifling through this man's diary?
Just a minute. Let me decide if I'm done. Can I roll for doneness, or do I have more post-it notes?
No, you rifle through, and most everything else on this desk is like senseless poetry, and the scribbling of an insane man. You question whether Timothy's been in this room and has been writing lately.
Look at this. There's a poem about a bar juggler here. Has anybody ever heard of one of those before?
No.
Oh, it sounds like nothing I'd want to deal with. I throw the paper away.
Bar
There you
juggler.
go. Flower.
You got something I need to stick my key into?
Oh, maybe. Definitely not behind that poster, but yeah, there appears to be a keyhole down here.
Why would you ever bring up the poster? I don't understand.
Yeah, there's a little keyhole here in the floor.
I do a little twisty twist a la Sora from Kingdom Hearts, or whatever that is.
Man,
and
that's gonna lock away so many Heartless.
and I dip that key into the keyhole.
Oh my god, that key just grew so big, and you just like...
Swing!
I told you not to look at the poster.
Well, I can't believe you did it, Sora.
You found the keyhole!
Well, that would have taken us hours to figure out.
I mean, hasn't it, though?
The cutscene just never ends.
Between the post-its and the rocks, and how much time has passed?
The floor clicks, and similar to the door that you guys had used to get into this room, a trapdoor opens up slowly via a spring system. The trapdoor raises slowly, and you see that there is a ladder leading down into the dark below.
Oh, crap. Okay, do we still have lit candles and torches?
Well, I can light a torch with the candle, or are these candelabras, that you can hold, or are they just little candle holder things, like a votive?
Yeah, is it loose candle where it's dripping wax onto my hand, hot wax?
They're just little candle holder things.
All right, yeah, let's torch it up. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out my torch, and I will light it with one of the candles.
All right. We all have torches in our packs, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing. All right.
That's a thing.
Yes. Equipment. All right. I bust out my torch and I say, all right, share the love, Sherman.
How about we climb down, and then once we're down there, I'll light them so that we don't, I don't know, maybe drop torches on each other.
Okay. Sounds good.
Because I'm flammable. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and take lead here, take point, and I'm gonna climb down the ladder.
All right. You climb down the ladder and descend into the dark underground of the barony. And you reach the bottom. I'm guessing Timothy and Flowerkraut, you follow down the ladder after Sherman.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Following right behind.
And the light from above you slowly dissipates as you look up, and the trapdoor slowly on the spring system retracts and closes.
No.
Ever onward, Timothy. Ever onward. Let's go the way that we have to go.
Yeah, I guess that's what happens when doors close in your face.
Not this again. He can't hear the rock anymore. Is he getting upset again?
I can't hear the rock anymore.
Timothy, I will miss you.
I can't do this without you.
Yes, you can. Look within, Timothy. Press your own heart and move forward.
He's so wise.
Timothy, be your own rock.
Be my own rock.
See, I can just imagine that he's looking up and he's having this conversation, and Flowers kind of steps in behind and whispers, "Be your own rock."
Flowerkraut, I
Yes?
was just given information that would change my life.
Oh, do tell.
He told me to be my own rock.
Oh, sounds like sound advice.
God, so beautiful. I have to write a song about this, or I'll never forget it.
Can you write and walk, Mr.
Like a rock. Oh, like a rock.
Maybe not more than a couple of seconds of that one.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's just a one and done. All right, let's carry on.
Press forward.
So, Timothy, you feel quite at home because you look forward and you are within a natural cavern. So you are surrounded with your kin, with the rocks of ages.
I thought it was going to be birds.
Does he have some bardic inspiration now?
That's oofin, that's gleefin, that's laughlin, that's oafin.
So you guys can see that down here, this is definitely not part of the brick and mortar barony that sits upon. Remember when you had arrived in Ryle, you had seen this, the barony itself was sitting upon like kind of a giant stone outcropping. You feel like you're inside that stone outcropping, so like it's either been hollowed out or they just built it on top of hollow rock. The ground below you is actually quite soft. It's like almost silt. And with your torches in hand, you move forward until you hear voices in the distance. The pathway curves around a corner ahead of you, and there's a flicker of flame coming from well ahead. And you hear very soft voices saying something in a language none of you understand, and beating a drum very softly. So like you kind of didn't understand what this vibration was that you were experiencing as you walked through, but now it's starting to make sense that someone is actually playing an instrument.
Now, Timothy, I know you are inclined to join the band, but
Timothy is shaking.
Should we stealth it, boys?
Perhaps maybe out with the torches? I don't know. Is there any other light down here?
Oh yeah, is there a light source apart from the torch?
You do see a light coming from around the corner ahead.
Okay, yeah, let's put out our light then.
Okay. I'm totally good at being sneaky. That's one thing that I'm very good at. So let's hope for the best.
I am so neutral at sneak. I am +0 at sneak.
I have a +3.
Maybe you guys should go ahead of me.
For the record, I also have +2 in deception because I roll with disadvantage for stealth checks. So no, I'm not actually very good at them at all. So pray for me.
I mean, Sherman, if you would like, can
you carry me?
I mean, probably not. I'm trying this new be your own rock mentality, and I don't know if I'm that steadfast quite yet, but I could do some reconnaissance up ahead and then report back to you.
Yes, do that.
That's the option.
Okay, here we go.
I fluff his feathers a little bit to get him jazzed.
Thank you. Yes, I'm trying very hard. It's going to be quite difficult to hear this repeating melody and not want to jump in.
Okay, Timothy, give me a stealth check.
That is a 17.
Ooh, baby.
Nice.
All right, you silently move through the silty ground towards this flickering flame and the beat of a drum. And yes, you start listening to how consistent and how well this drum is being played, and you just want to add some kind of melody on top of it, but you repress it. You think about the stone upstairs, and you go, I can be my own rock. I can be my own rock. You turn the corner, and you see a circular room that is in the center. Another circle of pillars holds up. It looks to be maybe a structural pillars to keep the barony in place. So perhaps down here, the only way the barony could have been built on top of this hollow rock is that these structures were put in place. However, they are in a circular fashion, and inside the center of it, you see what can only be explained to be a summoning circle of some sort. Runes and glyphs written all over the ground. And in the center of it, a person is laying there, bound with rope. And on the outside of this circle sits this small blue figure beating this drum. And near the person that's bound, another small blue person wearing a robe is doing some kind of rhythmic dance, and magic is coming off of their fingers as runes and glyphs begin to light up. And the drumming begins becoming more intense and faster, and more magic begins flying around the room. Purple sparkles and, like dark blue magic begins to just pierce the air around you as you hide behind either the pillars or one of the corners in the room, until all of the magic coalesces in the center, right where this bound person is, who is kind of freaking out, but they can't scream or make a noise because even their mouth has been completely wrapped up. And you see this small portal open up, and the person gets sucked through it. And then the portal begins to change shape. Swirling purples and blues begin to become material. And the portal manifests into this little purple and blue demon on the ground next to the blue figure. The figure then pats it on the head, and the drummer stops, and they turn to each other.
When is Sebastian coming back?
He should have come back by now.
Yes, we shouldn't continue without Sebastian.
Perhaps we should consult with Seal Valley.
And you look as they usher this little demon back towards the back of the room, like the opposite side of the room from where you are. And you see that there are these like cages stacked up on top of each other, very rudimentary wooden cages. And it's at that moment, now that all the magic is out of the air, that you can see through to the other side of the room, through the darkness, that there are a bunch of these little blue and purple demons in these cages. And as they're doing that, they're ushering him over there, and the little blue purple demon stops. And you see the guy in the robes is like,
Come on.
would you just move? It stops and it turns and it goes. And it turns around and it looks directly at where you're standing, Timothy.
Crap. What do I do? Is there any way I could sneak away before it catches on that I'm there?
Yes. So if you wanted to immediately duck back behind the corner, you certainly can.
Do you want me to roll another stealth check to try and get back to everybody? And okay.
Yep.
Oh my god. Whew. Okay, so that was a 19 plus 3, 22.
Okay. So you...
I just shadow jutsu out of there.
Oh, hell yeah. Your black feathers melds with the shadows and you just disappear.
Blackwing no jutsu!
As you are backing away down the corner, you do hear the blue figurine goes,
Do you see something? What is it?
and they are kind of peering over there as well. But that's all you hear before you duck back and turn to where Sherman and Flower are.
Okay, guys, things just got a lot weirder and a lot more complicated than we originally perceived. So, gosh, how do I even start?
Well, let's start with this, Timothy. That was some amazing, ninja skills I just saw right there. So, kudos to that, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It's going to take a while to regrow those feathers, but I'm glad they served me well. There was a summoning circle with some arcane runes all around, and there were two individuals cloaked who summoned someone by appearing to use a sacrifice of some sort, thus creating a portal, and a bluish demon sprang forth from that portal, and they ushered it into a cage that were containing a multitude of them. It appears they are summoning some sort of, I don't want to say the word army, but definitely some sort of force. And they had mentioned that they didn't want to continue with their plans any further until Sebastian returned. Either Sebastian isn't dead, or they are unaware of his fate.
Oh my goodness. The plot thickens. The demon things, how big are they? How troublesome do they look?
Aaron, how bad? How bad the demons?
So
Tell me what way they are.
The demon was actually quite small. I would say it's probably the size of a rabbit.
I was picturing them pretty tiny.
Makes it so much worse.
Oh,
And
crap.
the blue figures were very small. They were maybe about 3 feet tall. They looked almost like gnomes, but they had very, very dark blue skin.
Okay.
And little
We're
tufts
dealing
of
with
hair like all
Smurfs.
over their head, but definitely not on the top of their head. I want all of you to roll a perception check.
Oh, crap.
Okay. Is this something that I could smell?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I got a 1.
Oh.
That's okay. 21.
I rolled a 15, but I don't know if that's gonna help.
Timothy, you don't hear anything or sense anything, but Sherman, at the last second, you get a whiff of something strange, something you've never smelled before. And you turn your head over Timothy's shoulder, and you see, kind of half buried in the silt, this little head sticking up from the dirt, and it's like slowly burrowing itself towards you. And in the shadows beyond, as you look up at the shadows beyond this thing, you can see the reflection of a pair of eyes. And that is where we will end our episode.